If you guys ever wanted to watch a fantasy dating game, light novel-esque adventure action goobly gop video game get adapted into a one-to-one anime that is very, very close reminiscent to the story, minus a few twinges here and there, but it's still accurate to a T. If you did, Wordsworth is one of those shows. What's up, guys? Episode 47 here. Welcome to Watch Plus. Come your way. To describe what this show is, other than complicated, is basically to try to describe a tale of betrayal and too much free time. So we have two tribes, the light tribe and the shadow tribe. They've been separated by the Wordsworth tablet, which has kept them at peace with one another, which has made them not attack one another because the tablet existing is almost like sort of a barrier between the two dimensions. I said dimensions loosely here because it's still on the same planet, still in the same basically realm of reality. You can just walk into a cave and be in the dark or light tribe, but it takes a bit of maneuvering to get there. But once the Wordsworth tablet was broken due to an unforeseen event, which I assume was probably either someone intentionally did that, or I'm leaning towards someone intentionally did that because one of the main villains' plot is to keep the tablet broken so the chaos can ensue between the light and dark tribes, because they love seeing the carnage and death, and they reap massive benefits since they're maleficent beings who feed off of this sort of warfare at all times.
伝説の剣士ポルックス、なんとか奴を抹殺して。
ウォトシーカが密かに復元しているという石板を見つけ出し、
再び破壊しなければ。
我々の生きる道はない。
So I'm going to lean towards that. I'm also leaning towards them breaking the tablet as well, because they're the only ones with true motive. So that's pretty interesting. I just found that out in my brain right there. Boom, I'm smart as hell. So with that whole tangent out the way, now they're going to war. And the war basically is just an on-site every single time we see. Now, I don't know how they can tell the difference between dark and shadow, since they look very similar, minus a couple of the anthropomorphic characters here and there, like this horseman, this walking skeleton for some reason. But other than that, they do look pretty similar. They do have some vampiric appearances. This guy's basically Captain Planet. This is very straightforward. It gets to a point where later on in the story we see a cat girl being who is of the shadow tribe just blending in perfectly with the light tribe society. So if they don't know you're part of the shadow tribe, then you can just fit in wherever you want, and then vice versa. What I'm trying to say is they could get along with one another if the incentive of war wasn't there. So that's what I'm trying to say. So we have Astral here, who is the most fertile person on this planet. You're gonna understand what I mean in literally just a second here. Who is being denied the ability to fight in another war on his kingdom's territory by his father, the King Wartashika. Wartashika is the strongest warrior of the Shadow tribe, so he sees Astral potentially being as strong as him, his son, but he's like, hey, I got better things for you. Don't worry about getting a sword, okay? Don't worry about fighting. That's beneath you. Just focus on becoming better.
僕がいくら剣の腕を磨いたって、光の一族との戦いに必要な許可書、剣士の証を取らせてくれないじゃないか。
それはアストラル様に万が一のことがあったらというオトシーカ様の親心。
Of course, Astral sees his fiance Sharon fighting, getting bodies, getting JoJo poses on top of these dudes, just slicing them up, and he's starting to get a little bit antsy. He wants to be at her level because he also sees Kaiser, who is Sharon's basically work husband, and he's jealous of that interaction there. So he wants to be at least Kaiser's level. And he sneakily gets a sword from a girl that crushes on him, and now has a license to fully fight, and goes to war. Now, when he goes to war, while the war is happening, Sharon and Kaiser and the clan are fighting back and forth. They start struggling, they get pushed back on, and then you got Sharon on the brink of getting assaulted by the King Fabris, who is the Light Kingdom's king, pretty much. Astral sees all this after assaulting Fabris's daughter, by the way. Fabris's daughter, Maria, just whisk him away. Thanos snaps him into the light realm. We are flash forwarding 20 years in the future. Now, I'm loving this already, mainly because, number one, a lot of the first two episodes solely focus on this one battle in particular, because this one battle basically just spells the trajectory of all these characters for the next time skip, which is where the final battle happens, right? And the next time skip basically is showing how Warshika, with the knowledge of his son dying now, because he's been missing for 20 years at the time skip of him disappearing off the planet, he now no longer has this sort of like heir to the throne or this secret he's been holding back. He wanted to tell his son, hey, the Wordsworth tablet I was mentioning earlier on, you have some potential of fixing this thing, of making peace with both tribes. But he can't say that in front of his Shadow Brothers, because guess what? Shadow Brothers want blood from the Light Tribe because the Light Tribe's been killing them. But the Light Tribe wants blood from the Shadow Brothers because Shadow Brothers been killing. Like it's this constant back and forth. I learned about this sort of gang violence in Spider-Man 2, the video game, and the psychological effects it's had on me ever since has been phenomenal. Because my ability to analyze media until then is just phenomenal. Now that Water Striker basically has a dead heir, their dead son, with no intention of trying to make another one, which, I mean, I guess never thought of that, right? Like, he could have just made another son, but the reason why Astral was so important to him was because we come to find out that Astral is basically of the Light Tribe. The prophecy of the Wordsworth tablet is only those who have seen the light and shadow realm can truly put the Wordsworth tablet together and truly cement the peace of the world. Basically being like the cross to bear the conflict of both sides, right? And how do we find out that our boy Astral is the Light Tribe? Well, when he comes to in the Light Realm, after he got Thanos snapped by Maria, gonna find out he resembles one of the prophetic strongest light swordsmen of their clan called Pollock. Like, he looks one-to-one comparison. Like, it's almost like he's his son or something. Like, it's so weird. Anyway, after that, Pollock is having memory lapses. He just can't remember what he is, who he was, what he's been through. He's fighting a couple of the Shadow Brothers here and there because they do invade the Light Tribe to get more information on him. One thing I have noticed about this show, though, like, it is phenomenal, it is fantastic, but they have a lot of sessions while literal war is going on, while the cave is crumbling right underneath them. They're like, well, you know, I like you, the mood's kind of nice, let's go at it. Like, bro, you like 100 of your soldiers just died, 200 of your brothers have just died, and you, like, come on, guys, like, priorities for his sake. Anyway, with Astral trying to chase his memories back and finally reuniting with the Shadow Clan after many ventures of the fluid swapping variety, he's reunited with Sharon after 20 years. And after reuniting, another war ensues because the Light Tribe invaded yet again. Now, I don't know why they're invading again, 20 years to be exact on the dot. Maybe because with Astral's help, they had enough confidence to go at it again, because their first invasion utterly failed. Their king literally lost his hand. And they go invade again, and with this invasion happening, you have the two snakes of both realms trying to stop this merging of the tablet from happening. Because from what I'm understanding, while the Light Tribe has no intention on fully keeping the Wordsworth tablet like whole, they aren't fully focused on destroying it either. So with that knowledge there, their whole intent is just to beat the Shadow Tribe, and that's it. They have no idea what the Wordsworth Tablet does, what it is. They don't really care about it at all. The Shadow Tribe is trying to find the Wordsworth Tablet to instill peace. Now, am I saying am I on the Shadow Tribe's side? Not necessarily, because they're all, you know, kind of immortal beings that have no sense of morality, but they seem to be the only ones that have some sort of like goal other than to fight their enemies, which I guess is kind of cool. But it kind of gets balanced out again, given like what they are, obviously. So bang, bang, boom, hilarity ensues. Multiple sessions, like back-to-back sessions. And we are at one of the final scenes in the last episode where we have Warshika, the king of the Shadow Tribe, the king, the best, strongest warrior of the Shadow Tribe, is about to like basically speaking to prophecy of the Words Rift tablet. He wants to, you know, get in touch with it more. I don't really know, like his last will and testament at the Words Rift tablet location, which to me doesn't seem very I don't know, smart, I guess, I don't know. And then right when he's about to, you know, lay out his entire plan in an empty cave, one of the girls from the Light tribe, who is a swordswoman and the daughter of Sabrina, who got tortured and kidnapped by the Shadow tribe. So she's basically like a mixed breed, halfling there. And Wartashaka's first thought is like, well, you're of the Light tribe, right? Let's have a child right now, because you clearly can't kill me. And again, I must mention, Wartashaka's entire army is fighting the Light tribe right now. He ran away to go to the Wordsworth tablet to say his final will and testament there, which was a bit of foreshadowing, by the way, because he needed some more clarity, I guess. And his whole army is about to die, and he's out here chasing some 21-year-old Punten when he's like 95,000 years old, which... So that happens, she gets fully impregnated, and after the whole deed is done, the two generals that have been betraying both tribes by intermingling with one another and keeping the war going on and on by inciting and instigating constantly, they finally meet up with Wartashaka and say, hey, you're at your weakest point right now, aren't you? We're gonna kill you. See ya. And they kill him.
伝承にはこうある。この石板を読めば全てのことがわかる。だがこの石板の文字が読める者は光と影の交わる者のみ。そしてその者は新しい世界をもたらすのだ。
光と影の交わる者。
その通りだから。
そうなってもらっては困る。
何？こういうことだ。化け物め。
They kill the strongest warrior because he was so focused on trying to make another heir 20 years after the disappearance of his son, by the way. That happens. And then, hear me right, this is where it gets kind of interesting. So when that happens, without realizing it, the two men who betrayed both of their kingdoms were in the presence of the Wordsworth tablet about to be complete. With the Wordsworth tablet fully complete, their being, their essence, themselves as an entity would literally disappear and dissipate, which would mean that they were the ones that broke the tablet in the first place. They are the malicious beings that truly caused this war and have profited massively from it. So I guess my whole thing would be like, why are they still there? I have feelings for confidence because when Sharon, when Miyu, when Maria, when Astral, when Kaiser, when the whole Light and Shadow tribe come together, with Wartashaka on his deathbed, he finally realizes that Astral never died. He was just sent to the Light Realm, but he couldn't access the Light Realm because the Light Realm, as I mentioned before, was soft locked due to the Wordsworth tablet being broken. It's not that they're separated each other due to like some dimensional shift. It's like long, treacherous path, and then to even get to the path itself, it's blocked off because the tablet blocked it off as well. So it's like a bunch of environmental obstructions, for lack of better words. But yeah, so Wartashaka on his deathbed is like, damn son, yeah, you were never of the Dark tribe, you're the Light tribe. The reason why I wanted you to never fight was because I wanted you to actually fully understand what the Wordsworth tablet was talking about. The Wordsworth tablet was always meant to have Light and Shadow be at peace with one another, to truly be at its full potential and not have us fight. And he dies.
闇の存在に気づいておれば無駄な戦いをせずに済んだものをな。
So it is quite a roller coaster of emotions. Have a lot of moments that make you want to question your sanity within itself. Also makes you realize that even though Astral is a magnificent warrior with the genetics of a basically Joestar-like talent level being, he can't help but to every single woman he comes across, or on, or both, in his free time, even though he should be fighting because, again, that's what he wants to do. This is a good show though. Despite the flaws I mentioned before, it's still a good show. The Betrayal is definitely something that, while it is predictable, it is a build up. So when it's building up to the point where the ultimate betrayal, it's like, oh snap, this is popcorn to my mouth. You know what I'm saying? It's pretty good. A lot of instant revenge as well, which I do like. The instant revenge is definitely a much more gratifying than like the delayed, like, it's been 10 years since you've killed my father, and you know what I mean, like it's right in front of your face, bing bang boom, get everything done immediately, and then the time skip happens, and then we get back on pace after like 10 minutes of like building up what the light realm was. Because I feel like the time skip was to not only show how long this rivalry has been going on between the light and shadow tribe, but it also goes to show us a glimpse of the light tribe without fully being held back on the context of the shadow tribe, right? Because like with the first 2 episodes, they've been showing us the context of the shadow tribe because Astral was there. The last 2 or 3, we've been seeing the light tribe side and seeing what they look like and see how they view things, their perspective, how they eat, how they breathe, and why they're so mad as well. Which, you know, seeing both sides of things as a centrist is the best way to go about things. You know, all right, guys, I'll have an outro, but if I did, wouldn't matter because no one makes fun of the video. Good night. Yeah, it's a pretty good show. Pretty good. Pretty good. Pretty good. I didn't have my glasses on the entire time, so it's pretty blind. Actually, let me show you what I was looking at. And fuck you. Fuck you, die.